Until our next guest, Brad Mielke, joins us. Brad Mielke, ABC News correspondent. Good morning, Brad Mielke.
Hey, good morning, guys.
So this Chelsea Manning thing sort of caught everyone by surprise, didn't it?
It really did. I mean, we knew that President Obama was going to be making more pardons and commuting more sentences, and they came in, lists that were a mile long, and buried in that list yesterday was a surprising one in Chelsea Manning. And already we've heard a lot of reaction, especially from congressional Republicans. Paul Ryan, John McCain, absolutely furious. They say that this puts American lives at risk. The Obama administration essentially says that Chelsea Manning has served her time.
Do we know why the Obama administration did it?
It's tough to tell. There's several different sort of aspects to this. Obviously, the first and foremost comes to mind is the idea that there's another administration coming into place, and perhaps this is sort of a message being sent to Donald Trump and his team that President Obama is trying to sort of make this stand in some regard for whistleblowers, even though the Obama administration had said that Chelsea Manning went far outside the realm of usual whistleblowers. In fact, we have on background from a source that Defense Secretary Ash Carter was against this in the beginning. So it sort of seems like it was President Obama and his innermost team that decided to go ahead with this, and the reasoning has not really been all laid out yet.
He also, not getting nowhere near the attention, but he's commuting and pardoning all sorts of people, more than any president has in a while. But there's somebody else on that list that came out yesterday that's not getting any attention, but probably should. This James Cartwright, this retired Marine general who pled guilty to lying, he also commuted his sentence as well.
And one name we were wondering if we would see was going to be Bo Bergdahl. There's been so much talk about Bo Bergdahl and what he did as an American service member in deserting his post. And so that's another name that has been very high profile that we did not see. So overall, though, remember, a lot of these commutations have been for low-level drug offenders, things like that. But to see what President Obama has been sort of doing with previously disgraced members of the military has been really eye-opening.
Yeah, and not just, rank and file guys, but in this sense, he was the vice chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, so you don't get much higher than that. Any word, Brad Mielke, on Rod Blagojevich, the governor of Illinois that is sitting in jail for trying to sell his Senate seat?
Yeah, we have not heard anything about that. I would be shocked if you saw that name come forward from the Obama administration. Not a whole lot of sympathy there. Chelsea Manning is someone who has inspired sort of a lot of debate, and I think in one regard, the Obama administration, particularly the Defense Department, was furious with Chelsea Manning. But in another aspect, in another regard, sort of the way you see with Edward Snowden, there seems to be kind of this sense of appreciating the conversation that was driven by Chelsea Manning. I don't think they feel the same way about Rod Blagojevich.
That is, it's an interesting point between Snowden and Manning. Chelsea Manning. It's different types of material that were released, both wrong. But with that being said, one more thing, Brad Mielke, we're hearing that this inaugural is going to be huge, but we're also hearing that scalpers have plenty of tickets to give out.
Yeah, well, you mispronounced huge,
Sorry.
First of all. But secondly, so the Department of Homeland Security says they're expecting 800,000 people in Washington. Now, you can just show up and go to the mall, but there will be plenty of seats available, of course, to invited guests. We're talking about congressmen. Well, all of a sudden we have more than 50 Democratic House members that are not planning on showing up. This is we've seen handfuls in the past, even John Lewis himself, who says he's boycotting this because he doesn't think Donald Trump's the rightfully elected president. He's done this in the past. But we've never seen a full quarter of the Democratic caucus in the House decide not to show up for the swearing in of the next president. It's absolutely unprecedented. The Trump team says, we don't particularly care if you come or not. Just give us your tickets because we've got more people who would like to sit in your seats.
Brad Mielke, ABC News. Thanks for checking in, Brad.
Thank you.
627, Big 550, KTRS. Let me tell you.